Hey everybody, happy Saturday. I'm finally following up with my MBK haul I mentioned in my last video. I have a bunch of the new tropical scents and a lot of fun things to try, so let's get started after I give you my perfume combo of the day. So today we went onto Pearl Harbor and we got to tour a bunch of the Navy ships because that's like a thing they're doing today. So I wanted something that would be good in the heat and would last a while. So I paired Dua's Frozen Guava and Spell of Cotton Candy. Spell of Cotton Candy is one of my favorites. I feel like it reminds me of a pink Starburst. And Frozen Guava is just nice. It has like a clean element to it and the juiciness of the guava, so I think it's really pretty. I also really like wearing this to the office. I feel like it's just really elegant, but it's still fruity and summery. So that was my combo for the day, and it definitely lasted well and held up in the heat. So I was very excited about that. Okay, first I'm gonna get into the sample I got in my order, which is one of my favorite parts about a lot of indie brand orders. I got Tiptoe Through the Garden. So this one is really interesting because it opens with cassis, pear, strawberries, and red currants. So very juicy and like pretty floral, which mostly fruity. Middle notes are candied rose, gardenia, green ivy, and soft cake accord. And the base notes are sponge sugar crystals, crystallized sugar, vanilla bean, sandalwood, musk, and golden caramel. So, smelling it on this tester strip, I'm really getting the candied rose. The rose is like behind almost a candied strawberry. Imagine just like a red, juicy strawberry dipped in like that. I don't know, like sugar coating, not just like sugar, but like when it's like glossy and it has like that nice yummy sugar coating on it with like a little hint of rose coming through. Let me see if I can get this to stop rotating. And then I'm getting some of the golden caramel and spun sugar with some vanilla. I almost feel like it's candied strawberries with an element of rose and then some like caramel vanilla. I feel like that's very pretty. It's not as intense now that I've let it sit a couple days. It's not as intense as it was when I first got the sample in my box, and I thought absolutely not. It kind of put me off, but now that I'm smelling it, actually on the tester strip and not just from the bag, I think this is really pretty and it's not as intense of a rose as you might think. It's very pretty. As you can see, a big part of my order was Saltwater Socialite. I love a good beachy scent. I love a tropical elevated sunscreen, feeling a little luxurious, but I love a good tropical smell. So when Aaron described it as a beach club energy in a bottle, sun-warmed skin, glossy shoulders, salty air, and a sunscreen glow that feels expensive. Look, I was like, okay, perfect, because I really like that fragrance profile. So it opens with bergamot, mandarin, golden pear, and banana. The mid notes are pineapple, coconut, orange blossom, and jasmine. And the base notes are ocean water, sea salt, vanilla, sandalwood, salt and musk, and amber. I really get mandarin and pear. I'm sure the bergamot's there, but it's like kind of amplifying the mandarin, the citrus element of it. The middle note, I think I'm getting some juicy pineapple, and the jasmine and orange blossom, where it's kind of like that aromatic white floral, and then the orange blossom, it kind of adds that like softening element where it's almost a little powdery, but it's not, it doesn't smell like powder, but that's kind of how it contributes to the overall composition. Like it kind of softens it a little bit, smooths it over. The base with the ocean water, sea salt, and vanilla, I really get like seawater, vanilla, and not like yucky salty seawater, just like fresh coming off the air. Like it's a nice breezy day at the beach, you're getting whiffs of the ocean air. Some vanilla with just the elements of those fruits still in the background and like the softening of the floral a little bit. This is as it's described, very luxurious beachy smell. Yeah, this smells like a fancy rich girl that's like walking across the beach. She has like that expensive like suntan lotion, but it doesn't smell like suntan lotion. That's just like the vibe she's giving you, you know? It's very yummy, and it's not too offensive one way or the other. So I think if you are interested in it, I think it's a safe 15 ml at least. So it's very yummy. I got the Saltwater Socialite in the fragrance, the nourishing oil, the veloute, I believe it's how you say that, and hair perfume. And I figured I might give you a little like view on how this looks. So I've already used it once, but it kind of has like a thicker ish texture to it. So when you kind of like get into it, there's like a little bit of a pull to it. It kind of reminds me of this is gonna sound weird, but I'm just giving this for texture, but like cream cheese. It does not smell like cream cheese. And then but when you rub it in, it's just like melts right in, and then it has like that nice like glow to it. I'm trying to get that to show, but it's not really showing. But I also feel that is very pretty. I also feel like these, in my opinion, I feel like they hold scent better than, I love the Cloud Whips. Those are my favorite, but something about this, I don't know if maybe it's just a little more thicker so it holds better, but I feel like the scent is better in these ones. And they just feel so nice. I didn't expect to like them because I don't normally like heavy body creams, body lotions. It just seems heavy when you're kind of getting it out of the container, but once you rub it in, it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel greasy. I will say it does leave like a little bit of a glowy feel, but it almost feels like you put on a very light lotion, to the point where I don't think if you rub this in, you'd feel nasty. Like, you know, when you feel a little too coated in something after it leaves a residue on you and you just want to scrub it all off. I feel like this is a nice hydrating amount because I'm very sensitive to that as well. And I think it's very nice. Okay, the next fragrance I had to get, which I'm very excited about, is Clouds Over Maui. And as a girl, as I've mentioned many times, I live in Hawaii. I don't live on Maui, but because of that, I was like, I'm already in, I'm already loving it, here for the namesake. And it was a bonus that the fragrance profile was something I wanted as well. Top notes are sweet pineapple, coconut cream, Tahitian vanilla. The heart notes are crystallized sugar, sea salt, and the base is tropical palm and vanilla pods. So very luxurious, creamy, pretty with some like fruit in there. So very excited to smell this. So, okay, as somebody who has had Dole Whip many a time in my life here at the Dole Plantation, I feel like it's like I can really smell that pineapple as if I'm like walking through the Dole Plantation standing in line, and I could just smell the chopped pineapple that they're using to make all this Dole Whip. It's not the type of pineapple, and I don't know if anyone else feels this way, where you can smell in a pineapple fragrance that it almost smells waxy. I don't get that from this. And that's what I'm always nervous about with pineapple fragrances. It doesn't smell waxy. The sweet pineapple is very, it's like delicate. I'm just trying to give you visualizations of like how it feels as it's coming across. Yeah, the sweet pineapple feels delicate. I'm definitely getting the coconut cream because it's almost giving me like tropical pineapple drink. That's just how I interpret coconut cream. I feel like that's just what it sways my brain to. But the crystallized sugar, sea salt, tropical palm, and vanilla pod, they don't come in distinctly, but I feel like they just add a nice creamy element to something that's already like creamy from the top with the coconut cream and vanilla bean, or Tahitian vanilla. It is very nice. I will say, I think this is probably one that has to like sit and get a little richer because it is soft right now. And the couple times I've worn it so far, I feel like it doesn't last very long, but I feel like that just has the element of having the fruit and the cream and vanilla to like let it sit, let it come together, and let it kind of richen. Okay, my next fragrance I'm reviewing that I got in my order was kind of a, I don't know, like a test. I wanted to see if I liked it, and I had been putting out for like a while because I kind of found MBK around like fall time, so this was definitely out, but I was nervous about it. And it is Milk and Myth, and I was nervous about it because I'm not really a pistachio girl, but I have been surprised by some samples that I've gotten with pistachio in it. I feel like my profile has kind of developed a little bit, so I thought maybe I'll like it. So the top notes are sweet milk, whipped vanilla foam, light pistachio cream. Middle notes are caramel drizzle, soft nutty accord, white sugar, and sweet condensed milk. The base is Bianco lattes, milky musk, vanilla bean absolute, tonka bean, heliotrope, and cashmere wood. So I was like, okay, I might like this. I like Bianco latte, as most of us do. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. So here I am, giving it a try. Okay. Ooh. Oh, okay. Right away, I can smell that. Oh, wow. Okay. You know, when I first kind of sprayed this, when I first got this the other day, I still felt like I was like, I think I made a mistake. I was so nervous. But now I'm seeing exactly that. Some soft sweet pistachio cream with Bianco latte. I'm very happy about that. I'm not very good at describing pistachio because I don't have a lot of experience with the different facets of it or different ways it can be presented. But I will say, I feel like this is really yummy. I didn't expect to like it as much as I do, but I'm pleasantly surprised by the type of pistachio it is. It's not too rich and nutty. It doesn't come across weird. It's like kind of bright in a way, if that makes sense, for a pistachio. And then you can definitely smell the Bianco latte right under it. Oh, that's really good. So I guess I'm happy with that. Okay, I was really nervous. Okay, next we have Pear Pressure. And this one, I already knew that I liked. I just got a larger size of this. I'm really excited. So this one opens up with pear, lemon, berry, apple, and marshmallow. If I can get the cap back on, oh my gosh. Sorry, so good. Lily, leafy greens, Tahitian vanilla, and heliotrope. And the base has sugary nectar, delicate woods, and white musk. And this one is so good. It's like a juicy fresh peach, pear. Yeah, the way this one comes through is like a really, what should I say, out of these, I smell the pear and the apple. It creates that like juicy crispness. That's what I feel like is translating towards that like champagne-y, like I know in the picture they have like 2 flutes of champagne in there. That's what's, I feel like, translating that champagne element, that kind of bright effervescence. It's the pear and that apple, at least to my nose. The Tahitian vanilla, heliotrope. I feel like, yeah, that's kind of giving it that transition between that fruity and that floral creaminess from, and then in the base notes you have the delicate woods, the sugary nectar, and the white musk. Kind of giving it that, I'm definitely smelling the Tahitian vanilla. I don't say I'm smelling musk, but I can see something grounding it. But this is what I knew I liked this one. I feel like it gives you that nice, juicy, fresh girl opening. Like I would definitely wear this to the gym for sure. And just to work, it's so pretty. But it just gives you that juicy, fruity opening where it feels effervescent and so bright and beautiful. And then it softens down to something so delicate, simple, pretty, with a little bit of that top element of kind of like fruitiness and prettiness. And it definitely doesn't go overboard. It's not too much. And it's not overwhelming, but it's super pretty. And if you like pear, I feel like you would really like this. I feel like I wasn't always a pear girl either. That was kind of one of my other notes that I struggle with. And this one is definitely one that I would gravitate towards. I feel like sometimes pear can come across really dry, and like just the nature of it can almost come across as like a dry wine, kind of. At least that's sometimes how I perceive it. And it definitely doesn't do that. It's leaning more on the juicy side. If you kind of like Victoria's Secret pear glaze, glacé, I think it's glaze, but that type of juiciness of pear. So definitely check that out if that sounds good to you. It is so beautiful. Next we have Melon Mistress, which I was excited about. I do love a good watermelon, but as I mentioned in my last video, it can get a little headache inducing for me if it's too syrupy sweet. So I just got a small 15 ml to try. This one is described as trouble in a sundress. So we're getting summer vibes, right? Juicy pink watermelon, fluffy spun sugar, and decadent vanilla cream. So sweet pink watermelon at the top, spun sugar in the mid, and decadent vanilla cream in the base. This one is, ooh, that one's so good. Okay. That's what we're working with. So let's get a little, sweet pink watermelon. Oh my gosh. Okay, that sweet pink watermelon. If you've tried those sour starbursts that are out right now, and it has the blue raspberry, the green apple, the watermelon, and what is the last one? Green apple, blue raspberry, strawberry, oh, and watermelon. Yeah, I think I already said. It smells like it's not sour, but it's so juicy that it almost makes your mouth water, just like how those sour watermelons do. And it smells similar to the way that smells in terms of the watermelon, not the sour element you can smell in a Starburst. And it's making my mouth water the same way. That's so crazy. It's probably because I eat those. That's what my brain is thinking this is. Let me see. Am I smelling the vanilla cream coming through? Okay, yeah, I kind of am. Right now I'm just, yeah, really getting watermelon. Just lingering. You know what, actually? This kind of reminds me of the opening of this. Yeah. That's kind of nuts. I know it's guava and watermelon, but if you have both of these, like say you've gotten your order of this already, and say you do have this, the opening really reminds me of this. Kind of like that, it's almost like a perfumey fruitiness, at least in this one, but it translates really juicy guava. That's the same way this watermelon's coming across, really juicy and really, oh my god, I almost dropped that. Really juicy and really present. I don't know how else to say that. Okay, what I think I'm gonna do for that one, I'm gonna let that one sit a little bit, let it develop, and then I'll come back and see how much of that spun sugar and vanilla cream really comes through. I feel like watermelon's one of those notes that's kind of like, it's really there and you need to give it some time to settle down. So I'll come back to that tester strip. If I remember, I'll try my best. Next we have Save the Date, which I'm really excited about. It says soft, sweet, and a little bit romantic, like a delicate slice of vanilla celebration cake dressed in airy icing and fresh petals. So this one is essentially what it said, kind of like some floral elements mixed with some cake. So, oh, whew, right in the opening. God, what am I smelling? Oh yeah, okay, sorry, let me not get ahead of myself, but it's really meeting my nose right away. So simplified notes are orange, green leaves, sparkling sugar, and soft vanilla glaze in the opening. Jasmine, heliotrope, fluffy white cake, sweet cake batter in the mid. And at the base, there's sandalwood, musk, vanilla, whipped icing, and creamy sugar. Oh, that orange is so good. Okay. I got this a couple days ago and I kind of smelled some before I like put on some tester strips before I went to my dad's house, and that was like still a couple days after I already got the order. And I was like, I wasn't sure about it. And that's also why I got a small one of it, right? But the way this is like coming together with the orange, I'm getting some of the green leaves, but in a way that gives it some character, but it doesn't come across as harsh and green, and it doesn't take over. It's almost like it counteracts the sweetness, like from, you know how vanilla cake batter, you can really smell, it's not syrupy, but it can be really rich. It can be, and I'm not saying it is, but it can be depending on like the person who's smelling it. Because at least to me, cake batter translates really rich. Like it smells good, but it's almost sickeningly sweet to me. The green leaves are kind of like a fresh in the sun, heated up leaf to me. Not like like you just cut a leaf open or something and you're kind of really smelling like the fresh aggressiveness of it. It kind of cuts through that sweet cake and sweet elements from the sparkling sugar, the soft vanilla glaze, and gives it a contrast. And then the orange kind of settles down. That kind of goes away. But the orange right in the opening, mixed with that kind of vanilla glaze, and then the kind of counterbalance from the green leaves, is really pretty. And then I can see it starting to dry down into this like vanilla glaze, sandalwood and musk, whipped icing. Like those are the notes I'm getting as it's like settling down. It's very pretty. I don't get a sickeningly sweet overtone overtone to it. So I don't think it's like, I think if you're put off by cake, if you're at all sensitive to it, maybe no, just get it like a sample. But if you can tolerate even a little cake and more, I think you, well, and the little element of floral, of course, but mostly sweet cakey frosting smells, I think you would like this. But if you're at all like sensitive to it where it makes you just feel nauseous, like just don't do it, because you can definitely smell the cake and the frosting in it. But it's very pretty, and as someone who doesn't really like heavy cake smells, I feel like the other elements add just enough to it that it's really a good in-between between those two worlds. And it's very pretty. Yeah, I'm really, really surprised and pleased by this one. Okay, the next fragrance I have is Pink Rice Puff. And the top notes are strawberry, spun sugar, and sugar. Let me get my scent strip. And the middle notes are, what's going on out there? Anyway, okay, as I was saying, the top notes are strawberry, spun sugar, and sugar. Middle notes are rice milk, mochi, and sweet cream. And the base notes are marshmallow, vanilla cream, and soft sugared puff. So this one, I always get nervous with like rice notes or mochi notes, but something about this, I was like, I just want to try it, okay? I gotta give it a chance. So, oh, wow, okay. And it's like, I really like the opening because of strawberry. It's like strawberry, it must be the strawberry, rice milk, and like, oh, okay. I'm getting like a strawberry yogurt in the opening, but like pleasantly, not like, oh, that smells off kind of yogurt. Like, it's creamy. It's got the fresh fruit inside. You've added like a little bit of like, maybe you've added a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of cream, just a little extra sugar on top. That kind of yogurt. It smells really good. You can tell there's real strawberries in it. That's how that's coming across to me. Probably, oh, it's from the sweet cream. Yeah, okay. Let me read the notes. It's like I'm getting nervous because I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, and then you can just like smell marshmallow and just a little bit of like sugar all around. But yeah, what I'm really getting is like a kind of a little bit more sophisticated of like a fresh strawberry yogurt with like juicy strawberries inside and like some sugar on top, which is very pleasant. It doesn't smell sour. It doesn't smell like milky, if that makes sense, even though there's cream in it, but it doesn't smell like milky. There's like more of a vanilla marshmallow milkiness to it, but it's not like just milk lactonic notes, if that makes sense. It is very good. This one also, if I remember correctly on the scent strip, it kind of dried down and I was like even more surprised by it. So I'm also gonna let this one sit over here and come back to it in a second. It's very pretty. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know my reviews today were probably a little off. I'm just really tired. We were out in the sun for a really long time. If any of you are familiar with REMPAC, that's what's going on right now. So almost a lot of the navies from different countries are here in the Pacific in Pearl Harbor right now. And they, open up a bunch of ships so you can like bring your family, walk through, see like kind of what the ships look like, how it might look to like live on one. And so we had to stand in line for a while. It's so hot today, but it was really cool because we actually toured a ship that my dad was on when he was still in the Navy. And it was kind of like special for me to be able to see that and like know my dad was on there at some point in time when I was like really small. So yeah, but my reviews were a little off. I'm really tired. And so hopefully they weren't too terrible. But yeah, thank you for watching. And I hope this was helpful. And I'm going to try to get this up before the sale ends. So maybe this will help you if you're trying to decide between any of these things. So yeah, thanks for watching.